Hi, it's Scott, ROCKFILE, back with another podcast review for you. Going to talk about the Nightwatch Collection, which is a 1994 Danish movie and its sequel. There have been several movies over the years, books and etc. called Nightwatch. My favorite is the Russian novels, Nightwatch, Daywatch, and what was the last one? Endwatch? Anyway, Nightwatch, one word, is a 1994 Danish film, directed by Ole Borndahl and starring a young gentleman who we would see later in Game of Thrones, Nicola Coster-Waldau. I'm probably slaughtering his name. Anyway, this was one of his first acting jobs. He was in this movie. They call it a Danish horror movie. I would call it a thriller, more in the vein of something like Seven. Not exactly a horror movie, even though there's some kind of scary and horror movie tropes in it. And it very much is a thriller, especially for the last half hour. The story of the first one is a young college student takes a job as the night watchman in basically the morgue. And it starts off a little weird. He meets the guy who's in charge, the guy who's quitting. He finally gets, I don't want to get into spoilers, but basically creepy things start happening and somehow he gets involved with a serial killer that's going on at the same time. The movie gets very intense. It's great acting. It's in Danish on the Arrow release that recently came out with English subtitles. That seemed to be the only way to watch it, which is fine with me. Thought the acting was great all around. It's very much like a Seven kind of thriller. You have a lot of the main character and his girlfriend and his friend and things they're dealing with in their lives as it's kind of coming to a head with this other serial killer story. So that movie I watched first and was really blown away. But the whole reason I picked up this package is because the idea is almost 30 years later, they got the original cast back together and made a sequel dealing with the main character's daughter. And to me, that's a great idea if they could pull it off. And they did. They pulled it off greatly. This first movie from 1994 kicked off what's called Danish noir cinema. It was the first of these kind of movies and a big run of these movies in the mid-90s that made Danish cinema more popular. And on a list of Danish movies, this is listed in the top 100 movies of all time from that country. I thought it was great. It probably a 4 out of 5 on my scale because it takes a while to get going and it's a lot of drama to begin with creepy moments here and there. But boy, the last 30 to 40 minutes is just nonstop knuckle biting, just edge of your seat kind of stuff. Really well done. And then it has this really kind of happy ending at the end, which almost feels out of place. But then we get to the sequel. So the only way you can pick this up, unless you're going to stream it, and it had Shudder in the name, so I assume it's been on Shudder and probably on Hulu if you want to watch them. There might even be an English dub on one of those channels. But the second movie, the package is only about $20 to $25 if you want to pick it up. Arrow does a good job with the extras. There's several on both. There's also a booklet that it comes with and reversible art on the inside, which either is the first movie or the second movie, whichever one you want out front. So I watched that, enjoyed the film, pretty intense, wanted to watch something else and did, and then came back and watched the sequel, which is called Nightwatch Demons Are Forever. And the idea is the main character from our first film is dealing with his daughter. She's starting to find out a little bit of what happened to him and mom and their friends in the previous movie, and she takes the same job being a night watchman. She's a college student. She needs money, and she takes the same job because she wants to know what dad went through. And somehow, some way, this all connects back to the original movie and other things, and obviously you see where this is going. I think they did a fabulous job. I would give the second movie almost a 4 out of 5 too, maybe a 3.75 out of 4 out of 5. It's just a hair, not quite, because, well, you can't have the surprise that you've had in the first movie. But I think as sequels go, it's a really great one. And that the director, the writer, the stars all return to do this almost 30 years later, well, is almost unprecedented. Yeah, we get a lot of these legacy sequels these days, but this feels organic. This feels like they almost planned this. I don't know, they didn't. They didn't say, oh, in 30 years we're going to get back together and do this movie. But bringing everybody back, tying it all together, the package together gets one of my highest recommendations if you're in the mood for something like Seven. It has some very dark places in it. Some very dark things happen. There, you're dealing with everything from serial killers to necrophilia and stuff like that. But it's all done in almost a medical context for a lot of the film. These people are working for the good guys, and getting involved in these bad things. So I would check out the Nightwatch collection. It's available now for Arrow. It came out recently. You get 2 Blu-rays. There's no 4K, unfortunately. First movie looked good, but grainy. Second movie looked fantastic, like a brand new film should. So between the two of them, it also gets very high marks. The 5.1 surround sound for both, very well done. No complaints about this package, actually. And I saw 2 movies that when I'm in the mood for 7, but I've seen 7 so many times, I would pull these out and watch them. That's my recommendation for these kind of films. Your mileage may vary. Like I said, it does get pretty shocking in a couple places, and there's even some male nudity in the beginning of the first one if you're into that. So check it out. The Nightwatch collection is available now from Arrow Video in the United States and other places. 2 Danish films that need to be seen together to fully appreciate. For Scott, I'm ROCKFILE. More podcasts on the way. Thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe, and have a spectacular day.